Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Welcome to Unity of Lehigh Valley. It's kind of a gloomy day out, so let's bring our own sunshine in and kick things off with I Claim a Blessing. Rise as you're able and join me. In the morning when I get out of bed, I claim a blessing. I claim a blessing. I claim a blessing. Before I even lift my head, I claim a blessing. I claim a blessing. I claim a blessing. This is how I start the day, knowing good is on the way. I am claiming perfect health, love and laughter, friends and wealth. In the morning when I get out of bed, I claim a blessing. I claim a blessing. I claim a blessing. Before I even lift my head, I claim a blessing. I claim a blessing. I claim a blessing. With conviction undeterred and power of the spoken word, take my life and redefine, break the shackles of my mind. In the morning when I get out of bed, I claim a blessing. I claim a blessing. I claim a blessing. Before I even lift my head, I claim a blessing. I claim a blessing. I claim a blessing. I lift my thoughts to higher ground, knowing miracles abound. Each day unfolds just as it should, when I'm focused on the good. In the morning when I get out of bed, I claim a blessing. I claim a blessing. I claim a blessing. Before I even lift my head, I claim a blessing. I claim a blessing. I claim a blessing. Seated.
Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to Unity of Lehigh Valley. My name is Peggy, and I'm delighted to be assisting Carolyn Chang and Mark Udemoser this morning. Our affirmative statements express our Unity denominational statement of belief, as well as the vision and mission of Unity of Lehigh Valley. I invite you to join me as we read the statements out loud. There is only one presence, one power, one activity in my life, God, the good omnipotence. Sorry about that. We co-create an awakened world of peace, harmony, and abundance. United in love, we provide a positive environment for all people to discover and express their spiritual nature.
Yes, we do.
So during the month of May, we focus on the power of wisdom, represented by the disciple James, son of Zebedee, and the color yellow. We are guided by divine wisdom in our every thought, word, and action. Unity of Worldwide Ministries is ready to pray with you. The prayer partners at Silent Unity are accessible through phone or email or the You Pray app. That's the letter U and pray. Many other resources are available at unity.org, unityoflehighvalley.org, or by emailing the office at unitylv@rcn.com. As we continue seeking our new permanent senior minister, let's join together to affirm our right and perfect minister will answer the call. Filled with the spirit of divine love and wisdom, we are guided and directed in our thoughts, our words, and our actions in faith, giving thanks for the right minister for the highest good of this ministry.
And now, since we have gotten the blood moving with I Claim a Blessing, let's rise again as we're able and get it moving even more with You Will Do Amazing Things. You will do amazing things with each choice each new day brings. And with every step you take, it's the progress that you make. The reason you live is there in every gift you give. Love your life, love your dreams. You will do amazing things. Amazing, amazing. You will do amazing things. Amazing, amazing. You will do amazing things. Oh, the places you will go and the people you will know. Don't worry when or where or how. You don't need to know that now. You're on the right track. No need to look ahead or back. Just enjoy what each day brings. You will do amazing things. Amazing, amazing. You will do amazing things. Amazing, amazing. You will do amazing things. You don't need to work it out. Just stay in the here and now. Let your mind rest for a little while. Sometimes deepest answers come when you're out there having fun. So close your eyes, take a breath and smile, and smile. Amazing, amazing. You will do amazing things. Amazing, amazing. You will do amazing things. One more time. Amazing, amazing. You will do amazing things. Amazing, amazing. You will do amazing things. And now, Renee Udemoser will read the daily word.
Good morning. Wow, that's great. Okay, so the word for today is glory, and all of the other Unity churches in the nation and across the world are reading these same words today. So for Sunday, March 6th, my life celebrates the glory of God. Glory fills the world with wonder when I attune my senses to it. I hear it in the sound of waves crashing on a beach and in the resonant harmony of a choir. I see it in sunrises and sunsets, in the beauty of gardens, mountains, and forests, and in the eyes of parents holding their newborn child. I feel glory in the depths of my being at those moments when I understand my life as God's life, living as me. There is no place where my human self ends and the divine presence in me begins. God and I are one. The glory of God is revealed in me as I release the thought that I am only human. God's glory shines through me as the divine presence, the Christ, expressing in my healthy body, my insightful mind, and my loving heart. And from Galatians 2:20, and it is no longer I who live, but it is Christ who lives in me. Amen.
I chose this feature song first for many reasons. First, when I read Caroline Chang's brief on what her topic was going to be today, there was a line in there that said, without letting anyone question who you are or why you are here. That was the first thing that said, I want this song. And then I went to people who struggle with disease and grief, just any struggles. And then, of course, the word struggle took me to Ukraine. And I dedicate this song to the fantastic people of Ukraine, ordinary people doing extraordinary things. I won't just survive. No, you will see me thrive. Can't write my story. I am beyond the archetype. I won't just conform. No matter how you shake my core. 'Cause my truth, it runs deep. It says, oh, ye have so little faith. Don't doubt it, don't doubt it. Victory is in my veins. I know it, and I will not negotiate. I'll fight it, and be transformed. 'Cause when the fire's at my feet again, and the vultures all start circling, they're whispering, you're out of time, but still I rise. This is no mistake, no accident. When you think that final nail is in, think again. Don't be surprised, I will still rise. I must stay conscious through all the madness and chaos. So I call all my angels. They say, oh, you have so little faith. Don't doubt it, don't doubt it. Victory is in your veins. You know it, and we will not negotiate. We'll fight it, and be transformed. 'Cause when the fire's at my feet again, and the vultures all start circling, they're whispering, you're out of time, but still I rise. This is no mistake, no accident. When you think that final nail is in, think again. Don't be surprised, I will still rise. This is no mistake, no accident. When you think that final nail is in, think again. Don't be surprised, I will still rise. And now, Caroline Chang.
Thank you, Mark. That was beautiful. Thank you. For our centering prayer, you are the face of God. When I look at you, I only see me. When I look at you, I only see God. When I smile, you smile. When I cry, you cry. When I laugh, you laugh. Seek ye first the face of God. You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are a part of God. You are the face of God. You are the face of love. I hold you in my heart. You are my family. You are the face of God. I know love is in the world begins with me. I know that peace in the world begins with me. I see only you in me.
Well, if you'll join me with something not quite so stirring as the last song. How could anyone ever tell you? How could anyone ever tell you you are anything less than beautiful? How could anyone ever tell you you are less than whole? How could anyone fail to notice that your loving is a miracle? How deeply you're connected to my soul. How could anyone ever tell you you are anything less than beautiful? How could anyone ever tell you you are less than whole? How could anyone fail to notice that your loving is a miracle? How deeply you're connected to my soul. How could anyone ever tell you you are anything less than beautiful? How could anyone ever tell you you are less than whole? How could anyone fail to notice that your loving is a miracle? How deeply you're connected to my soul. How deeply you're connected to my soul. And once again, Chang.
Thank you, Mark. Okay. Know thyself. It's very important. I thought about this as the topic of today's discussion because it's so important, knowing who we are. It's a self-realization, and truth, it is what enlightenment is, where we come here to evolve, to know who we are and why we are here. So knowing ourselves is extremely important. And I use the term knowing a lot because there are a lot of people say believing. There's a difference. There's a difference in believing and knowing. Knowing is something that can't be changed. It's a knowing from within your heart and soul that you can learn other things and you can hear and have discussions. Because one thing I do is I honor everybody's belief, and I listen. But a knowing, a belief is something that can be changed. You can have a belief one day, and then the next day, I don't know if I believe that anymore. But a knowing is grounded in your heart and soul. You don't change that. Now, knowing and believing actually come from different parts of the body. Believing comes from our brain. Now, our brain is a great tool. We definitely want to be using our brain while we're here in this reality that we are, this what we call physical. And we only call it physical. It's not truly physical. But it's our mind, and our brain is a tool. It's a great tool to have and to use, and we should use it all the time. But we don't want our brain and our mind to guide our life because it's extremely limited. Okay, our brain and what we learn while we're here, while we're in school, as we read books, as we attend lectures, and all of that, which is great. It's wonderful. It feeds our mind, but it is extremely limited. Our brain and our mind, we don't know everything from that aspect of who we are. That's why I say it's a great tool to use, but we don't want our mind to guide our life. We want to use it as a tool, but don't put it in the driver's seat. For me, my mind and my brain, I put in the back seat. It's good. I use it. I'm very happy for the education I've gotten, but I know that I had a lot of confusion when I only relied on what was in my mind. Now, knowing comes from a different place. Your mind, your believing comes from the mind, from the brain. Your knowing comes from your heart and soul, and it's a knowing that you're actually, because it comes from a higher place. You don't actually know how it works from your human senses. We don't know, but from your heart and soul, we know. We all have intuition. We all feel a calling from our heart and soul. And we don't always understand where that calling is coming from, but we know the difference of is it coming from here or is it coming from here? Now, when it's coming from here, from the heart and soul, that is called wisdom. So what comes from our education and what we read and from lectures and all of that, that's intellect. That comes from the mind. But wisdom, the knowing, comes from your heart and soul. And that's infinite knowing because it doesn't change. Once you're like, I know that I know that I know. And a lot of times you can't explain how you know because that's where it's coming from, a higher place. Now, I talk about heart math a lot. I love for you guys to check heart math out. I discovered heart math back in 2007. But heart math actually has done lots of experiments, scientific research on the difference between the brain and the heart. And it actually has determined that your heart intelligence, because when we think of intelligence, we think of the brain, but your heart intelligence is far more, at least 5,000 times more, and I've heard as much as 10,000 times more. Your heart's intelligence is much more intelligent than your brain, because most people think, okay, my intelligence comes from here, but your true intelligence comes from your heart, and it's infinite and unlimited. So I'd love for you guys to check out the work of heart math. They have done lots of scientific research into this. Who we truly are, like I said, know thyself is so important. Self-realization. Who we are sovereign, divine beings of light. We all in here, we know that we have a body in this physical realm, what we call physical. And it's limited. Our body is not going to be here forever, but who we are is unlimited. We are divine beings of light. And when we know this, we live our life very differently. We are also unique, holographic, and multidimensional. And I'm going to actually get into, in this presentation, I'm going to break down each one of those terms because they're very important to understand. Okay, unique means there are no two alike. Like there is no two snowflakes that are alike. There's no two butterflies that are alike. There's no two human beings on this planet of 7 billion people. No two are alike. And that's exactly the way it's supposed to be. Because you are here for a divine purpose only you can fill. Only you can do what you came here to do. No one else on the planet can do that. Only you. So you are unique. A lot of times, because I talk about oneness, you guys know me. I know that we're all connected, we're all one, we're all divine. But sometimes people, and I've heard people get this, make this mistake, they will equate oneness with sameness. Not at all. It's actually the opposite. Oneness is not sameness. Oneness is your unique God self adding to the all, because God is all that is, and God is living through each one of us as a unique piece of that puzzle. Not the same. No two are the same, and they're not supposed to be the same. So that's why I talk about unity within diversity, because that's how it has to be. We have to be unified, even though we have different beliefs, we have different religions, we're different colors, different cultures, different everything. All that difference is beautiful because that makes the whole more diverse and more beautiful. It's the spice of life, our differences, not something to argue about and fight about. The best thing you can do is allow someone to be who they truly are and love them. You don't have to agree. I can have conversations, and I do this all the time. I have very long conversations with people who have totally opposite opinions than mine. And I don't argue with them. I let them share. They allow me to share. At the end of that conversation, we have nothing but love and respect for each other. We don't feel the need to fight and argue with each other. We don't feel the need to impose our beliefs onto someone else. You can listen to someone in love and light. You don't have to agree. That's where they're coming from. But you recognize that they are a sovereign, divine being of light, just like you are. And they are coming, each of us are on our own path, which is totally, uniquely different, and it's supposed to be that way. So what I am saying is you can love and respect another person who has completely different beliefs than you. Now, the other word, holographic. I love this word because when I totally, truly understood the meaning of holographic back in 2007 when I had my awakening experience. Science has proven again that the universe is holographic, meaning everything is holographic. And the best way to understand what holographic means is that we, each one of us, is a cell of God. A cell of all that is. That's my term for God, is all that is. There's nothing outside of God. And I love Rumi's quote, you are not a drop in the ocean. You are the entire ocean in a drop, meaning you're not just a piece of God. You are all of God in a drop. All of God. Think about that. Meaning we are co-creating our reality and our experience and this world that we're living in, experiencing. We're co-creating it together as one, as all of God. So again, holographic means you're not a piece of it. You are all of it. So we are all of God in a drop, creating our reality and co-creating the global reality as one. Multi-dimensional. Now, Einstein, I love Einstein. Again, you guys think what I teach or talk about is spirituality. It's not. It's science. It was science that was the key to my awakening. Because science right now is actually telling us and teaching us exactly the same thing that spirituality has been teaching us for eons. And Einstein said over 100 years ago, time is merely illusion. All there is the now moment that we're living in. So there is no past, there is no future, there's just the now. And when I understood this, I understood that I used to say reincarnation. I don't use that term anymore because it's simultaneous incarnations, meaning we live hundreds of lifetimes. I think everybody in here believes that. But we're actually living all of those lifetimes right here and now, in the only time that exists, which is now. And this has been proven scientifically, not only by Einstein, it actually has been proven scientifically recently by, I'm trying to think of his name, he's Stephen Hawking, who passed not long ago. He also, now I am not a scientist. I was talking to Mark about this earlier. I'm not a scientist, but I do understand this from a layman's term. So I'm not Stephen Hawking, where I can explain to you how he proved that time does not exist. All there is now. But he, as a scientist, has proven that all there exists is this now moment. We can only live in this now moment. We can't live in the past, we can't live in the future. And if you realize, one of my favorite books is The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. When you realize how much of your time do you spend either worrying about the future or fretting about the past? How much of your time do you do that? How often are you squarely in this now moment? Because we can only live in this now moment. All there is the now. Okay, quantum physics teaches us who we truly are. Again, it's not just spiritual. Yes, spirituality teaches us who we truly are, but also quantum physics does. It teaches us all about energy. That everything is energy, and that energy is interconnected and interdependent. That energy vibrates at certain frequencies. So what creates our reality is the core. We create our reality, what we individually experience from our core frequency, from our core energy. And so I love the fact that it was actually science that was my key to my awakening in 2007. Quantum physics, now, a lot of people, I'll hear this, especially not being a scientist. I'll hear, well, quantum physics is just a theory. Okay, but it's not. You know why it's not? Everything that we use today, technology, comes from the science of quantum physics. Everything. Cell phone, smart TVs, even now all of our appliances are smart, meaning they're connected to the cloud, or they're connected to what is called the smart grid. So how can all these things wirelessly be connected to the smart grid if they weren't interconnected and interdependent? The core of quantum physics is oneness. The core of quantum physics is everything is energy, and that energy is interconnected and interdependent, just like we are. We're not separate from we're not separate from this podium or that chair you're sitting in. You're not separate. It's energy vibrating at a certain frequency. And I talk about the frequency is very important because we create from our frequency, and if it's a high vibration, which is love, or a low vibration, which is fear, we are going to be creating what we experience individually and then collectively from that frequency. Okay, so I love it when people say to me, quantum physics is just a theory. Okay, so throw away your cell phone. because it's operating off of quantum physics. Okay. So science, ancient wisdom, and I've shown you guys this slide before. Science, ancient wisdom, and spirituality actually are teaching us all the same thing. Now science, the science piece of it, quantum physics, which is actually over 100 years old. Quantum physics isn't new, but it's all teaching us the same thing. It's all teaching us that everything is energy, that energy is interconnected and interdependent, and we're not separate from it. Just like a lot of people think we're separate from God, that God is up there and he's looking down and judging us, and we're separate from him. A big part of my awakening was understanding I'm not separate from God, never have been and never will be, and I am infinite. So I know that everything happening is happening in perfect divine timing and in perfect divine order. I don't question anything that's happening. Not saying that I am in favor of everything that's happening. I'm not in favor of violence and crime and war and all those things, no. But I know that what I focus on, I can be aware of those things, but not focus on those things. Because I know my power lies in what I focus on. So what I focus on, what I'm going to experience individually, comes from where I focus my attention. And collectively. But the wonderful thing, again, I'm going to go back to science. The wonderful thing about energy, and this has been proven scientifically, is the higher vibration is much more powerful than the lower vibration. Meaning, if you have 1 million people focused on war, which is a very low vibration, and you take 10,000, so 1 million people focusing on war, you only have 10,000 people focusing on peace. That 10,000 people focusing on peace is far greater than the energy of war because it's a low vibration. Science has proven high vibration of love is much more powerful than the low vibration of war and hate. So that it only takes a little bit of light to shine through the darkness. And I'm so happy because I know back in December of 2020, I talked to you guys about the fifth dimension and how we're moving into the fifth dimension. The fifth dimension is here already. It's right here. It's you experience by where you hold your frequency. Right now, we're living in amazing times. Right now, we have the 3D reality is still here. And we have the fifth dimension is here at the same time. What you experience and what the world will experience is where you hold your attention. Okay, so I don't watch news, but I do know. I haven't watched news in over 20 years. And I do know what's going on in the world. People ask me that all the time. You don't watch it. And I haven't watched news since September of 2001. So over 20 years. And people will ask me all the time, first of all, I work from home, I'm on the computer all the time. How can I not know what's going on in the world? I do know what's going on in the world. But I give my focus to love, light, and peace. And I know that I am a part of the whole. And my giving my attention to that is affecting the whole world. So we are that powerful. So it's important for us to know how powerful we each are. So when you know who you are, you live your authentic, true self. You don't care. You don't go around hurting people. It's not about that. Because when you're living your true, authentic self, you come from love. You come from unconditional love, unconditional peace. So you live your true, authentic self. You live without fear. You're bold. You step out into the world and you live your truth. You share your truth in love and light. And I say, it's not about arguing and fighting and trying to make someone agree with you. Not at all. It's about sharing your truth in love and light. You live in a state of unconditional love. You know that other person regardless of who they are and what they're doing, you know they are still a sovereign divine being of light. They are a part of God. We're all God, just in disguise. We are all God playing roles in a play, a magnificent play, and we're all in disguise. So the people that may be doing things that, are hurtful, we have to realize, well, that's just God forgetting who he is. That's just God in that body asleep to who he truly is. Remember, I said we come here to remember who we truly are, to know ourselves. And not everybody is awake. So, and being awake is not a judgment, meaning I'm awake and I run into people who are not awake. I have no judgment against them because we're all on a divine journey, soul's journey. So we all have to understand that it's about unconditional love, okay? And living in a place of unconditional forgiveness. No matter what a person does, you automatically, they don't have to ask for your forgiveness for you to forgive them. And a state of inner peace. Because we create world peace through peace in our own heart. So to know ourselves is to understand that world peace begins with you, each and every one. So if we have peace in our heart, understand that we are adding more peace to the world because that's where it begins. So yes, and we could do the song is my meditation, which is You Are the Face of God. Thank you, Alicia. Thank you.
You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of God. Tu es l'image de Dieu. I hold you in my heart. Tu es l'image de l'amour. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of God. Tu sei la luce di Dio. I hold you in my heart. Tu sei il volto dell'amore. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of love. The face of love. I hold you in my heart. You in my heart. You are my family. You are my family. You are the face of love. The face of love. You are the face of love. The face of love. I hold you in my heart. You in my heart. You are my family. You are my family. You are the face of love. The face of love. You are the face of God. The face of God. I hold you in my heart. You in my heart. You are a part of me. A part of me. You are the face of God. The face of God. You are the face of God. Eres la luz de Dios. I hold you in my heart. Eres You're a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of God. You are the face of God. You are the face of sei la luce di Dio. You are the face. You are the face of God. You are the face of God. L'image de Dieu. You are the face. You are the face of God. You are the face of God. You are the face. You are the face of God. You are the face of God. You are the face. You are the face of God. You are the face of God. You are the
We are grateful for the offerings that you share and bring to Unity of Lehigh Valley. At our website, unityoflehighvalley.org, you can contribute your gift by clicking on the Donate button at the top navigation bar. You may also mail a check directly to ULV or set up a weekly or monthly payment from your bank. Please contact the office if you have questions on how to donate to Unity ULV. For those of you here that are in the sanctuary, please leave your offering in the silver bowl at the back of the sanctuary. So we bless the gifts we hold in our hands by affirming together. The activity spirit through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive.
And since we are little beings of light, let's rise as we're able and sing This Little Light of Mine. And if you'll remain standing, I'll give the offering blessing, and then we'll close with our peace song. We give thanks. We bless our world and affirm peace, prosperity, and wholeness. We bless the offerings that have been given to ULV, and we affirm that stewardship of those offerings be in the name and nature of the Christ. We bless each and every soul that is here with us today, both in sanctuary and everywhere our voice is heard. We bless our prayers, both spoken and unspoken, and for every prayer we affirm divine order. We affirm understanding and love. We affirm peace. And so it is. Amen. Now, if you'd like to gather around the edges, and we'll hold our hands without touching, we'll do our peace song. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is. Namaste. Have a wonderful